Hey everyone, Happy New Year. The numbers are in for 2021 for Aqua. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. I want to get a little bit into the weeds on this video before you're going to go through some very specific numbers and some of the data that we're watching so you can help further understand the market, where we think the market may be headed here at the beginning of the year. Let's get right into it. A couple of the numbers I think are important. The total number of units for sale, and this will be a theme you're going to see throughout this video. Buyers just have not had a lot of choices for a long time in the condo market, which is helping prices stay where they are or even move up higher. You're hearing a lot of stories about strong offers, multiple offers. That's because buyers are just very motivated and they don't have a lot to choose from. Look at this right here. The total number of units for sale in Aqua that were even available to purchase last year was down 35%. There were 57 the year before. Last year there were only 37 available. So that's it's a very, very big number if you think about it in terms of year over year percentages. Same thing here. The number of new condos that came up for sale, it's about the same number. The number of units that went under contract were down 22%. Same idea. There were just fewer choices for people to choose from. This is an interesting one here. The number of units was down 24%. But look at that. The volume was actually up slightly. That means we sold 24% fewer condos for right at the same amount of money. Obviously, we can see what's happened. Prices have been moving up quite a bit. The average sales price in Aqua in 1 year, the average sales price jumped 33%. That can be a little misleading. Remember, the average just means where are people spending their money on average. If, for example, if 1 year nobody bought any one bedrooms and they all bought 3 bedrooms, obviously that would jump. But we're going to assume that it was pretty spread out and there wasn't anything terribly lopsided in a year. But that's a pretty big move in real estate in 1 year, obviously. A couple other things. Remember, I'm a big fan of this chart. The months of inventory number is the most important thing here. I'll explain it again for those of you not seeing this video. I smile every time because I've said this so many times, but it's a very important number to understand. Traditionally in real estate, 5 or 6 months of inventory would represent a neutral market. The idea would mean that it would take 5 or 6 months to work through the whole process. Seller calls real estate office gets marketing together, shows property, negotiates contracts, closes the contract, final closing. That whole process used to take 5 or 6 months normally. I contend it's a little faster than that now. It doesn't take us 30 or 45 days to get marketing going. We can get marketing going. Good marketing, I think, still takes 7 to 10 days to get really excellent photos and videos together. But obviously, distributing that doesn't take as long as it used to. So this months of inventory number, if we have less than 4 or 5 months of inventory, we're now talking about a seller's market. Things are happening faster. The longer we stay there, the longer prices are propped up, or there's pressure for prices to at least stay the same, if not move higher. So take a look. This is for the entire condo market, and then I'll show Aqua specific. So buyers just didn't have a lot of choices in a lot of 2020. Look, from the beginning of the pandemic all the way through May of last year, buyers had fewer and fewer and fewer choices month over month. But what I was interested to watch was look at May, June, July, August of last year. We very quickly, the supply was filled up again. Buyers all of a sudden started to feel like they had a lot of choices again. Some of them who had been less patient were becoming more patient again. Oh, it's the end of the season. I'll have more time. Looks like lots of units are coming on in the market. But look at what's happened in the last quarter of the year. That story's changed again. We're selling a lot of condos. There's a lot of buyer demand. Going back to that months of inventory number, the months of inventory number, even at its highest, August, September, October last year, only went to low 2s, meaning that's still a very healthy seller's market. And we're now back down across the entire market. We have just over 1 month of inventory. And if you think about what that means, just over 1 month of inventory means that the entire Gulfront market would theoretically sell out in just over a month. That's a pretty intense market still, and here we are in early January. For Aqua, same story. We have fewer units to track, so that chart will bounce around a little bit. but look at the months of inventory number in Aqua and how good it's been. It peaked in September at 9 months. It will jump around more and be more volatile just because we have fewer transactions we're watching. But look at where it's been November, December, November, 2 months of inventory. Right now we're sitting at 0 months of inventory. It doesn't get any hotter than that. A couple other important numbers that we've been watching. In August, remember the same story here. Active means how many units are for sale. So we're down, 30s to 40% on supply again still. This is our version of the chart. I want you to look at this. The number of new contracts being written in August of last year was started to be off. We were writing 15% fewer, 18% fewer, 17% fewer. Similar story in September. We were still down, all this red, less product to sell, and down number of contracts, a few more there, down contracts. But look at what's happened in November, December. Still down on inventory, down on supply. All of a sudden, we started writing a few contracts early in November. Got a little quiet around Thanksgiving. Look at what's happened towards the end of December. Really the whole month. Up 32%, up 8%, up 62% last week. Those are big numbers. I know I'm geeking out a little bit over some math, but that's 60% more new contracts being written in the condo market, and still almost 50% less choices in very intense demand, very limited supply. We're hearing this across the board on a lot of different things, not just real estate, right? So if we look specifically at what's going on in Aqua right now, price-wise, we've had a 1-bedroom. I went back to December 1 for you so we could at least see some sales there. We'll have the full set of sales throughout the year. I think we'll put that on the website. You guys probably, those of you who are on the distribution list, will all get the breakdown too of all the sales if you want to see all the sales from 2021 in the mailer. If you don't get it and you want that, just call me, text me, email me. So 1-bedroom closed last month, $535,000 for a 1-bedroom unit at Aqua. 2-bedroom unit over in the 07 stack closed at $615,000. We have one in the 05 stack that the asking price is $641,500. It's under contract. We had a 3-bedroom in the 09 stack closed at $710,000. Another one closed at $725,000. Another one closed at $760,000. In the 03 stack, we had one closed at $865,000. We had one in the 01 stack closed at $950,000. We have one unit for sale, asking over $1 million for that. So and that's in the 11 stack. So if you're in any other stack except for the 11 stack, and even really the 11 stack, you can see it's a really excellent time to call your shots as a seller. This is the kind of market still where we can be aggressive. In fact, I think we can be a little more aggressive than we were in September, October. We're anticipating normally we have a lot of enthusiasm coming into beach season yet. I know we're not quite there in the mindset of some buyers, but we are with others. There are plenty of buyers that want to have a condo bought and closed, ready to rent early in the season. If the season starts March 1st, they need closings late January, sometime in February to get that ready. So we have a lot that's happening now. If you're thinking of liquidating, you probably can liquidate pretty easily right now. You can probably push pricing a little bit right now. Again, still, you have to have some strategies on how to be able to close over recent sales, which we do, and we're doing on a regular basis, but you've got to have a plan for that to be able to push pricing and set some records. But that's all very doable. We're going to watch the market pretty closely. Of course, we always do, but leading into the season, it'll be interesting to see this year if we continue this and if we get a rush of some supply. If a lot of people put their units on the market between now and say March, April, we see that a lot of years, that's a normal time for people to put things up for sale. If you're thinking of selling, I would say, and you're selling in the spring, start the process a little earlier than it feels like. I would say start the process a little earlier and be more aggressive on your price, because you'll have less competition and buyers fighting for you. All of a sudden, come that normal rush of units comes to the market softens a little bit. Buyers are still very motivated, but maybe they feel a little bit more patient because all of a sudden more units are coming up for sale. Overall, though, it's still a very healthy market. We're very encouraged by a lot of these numbers. I think the main things concerning us would be anything nationally with economics. Interest rates moving up is a big one. But locally and inside of the condo market right now, we're still very optimistic about seeing a very, very strong, healthy market. We are anticipating, we still feel like real estate is a cyclical thing. There's some theories out there. You may be familiar with the idea of an 18-year cycle in real estate. If you subscribe to that, we're very, very close to the top or end of that cycle. And the next thing that would happen in the cycle would be a lot of people taking profits and selling. If we have enough of that happening, adding enough supply to the market, and for some reason demand waning, interest rates moving down, stock market move down, that puts people don't feel as good about making a major purchase because their portfolios don't look as strong. If some things like that happen, things could move, and sometimes it can move pretty quickly. So especially inside of a condo market, when a unit in an 02 stack or an 07 stack or whatever sells at this price, it resets values for everybody. Same thing happens down. If someone all of a sudden liquidates here and then another one sells here, values can move around and bounce around pretty quickly. So far we're encouraged. A really good time coming into the spring, if you are selling, to think about starting the process a little sooner rather than later. I think most of you that would be watching this are already signed up for our e-alert system. If you're not and you want to keep up to date specifically with Aqua or really any condo project, text me at 850-527-0221 and I can get you into that system. It's a very accurate system. It comes straight from our real estate MLS, so that you have accurate information when units come up for sale, when they change price, and when they sell. It gives you the accurate sales price and accurate sales date. Sometimes what people say they sold their units for is not quite accurate. So this is a really accurate system. I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. We'll be in touch next month.